The gaffer, the boss is here. Thomas Frank, delighted to say, is with us live on Sky Sports News. Thomas, thank you for taking the time out just after your training session. You've got Liverpool this weekend after a brilliant win against Crystal Palace. I'm just thinking it's a different Liverpool you're going to have to prepare for. Arne Slot, after so many years of Jurgen Klopp, have you noticed anything different from their kind of opening game against Ipswich?
I think it was a good and impressive win they had. I don't think, I'm not an expert on transfers in and out of Liverpool, but it seems like it's the same team and the same players they had last year. And that is good players. The lineup they had there is very impressive. That was why they were actually very close to fight for the title last year. And I think they will be up there and fighting for it this year. Their players are the same, so of course they've been drilled in a certain way for 9 years. That's on the backbone of them, so they don't just change that overnight. And without knowing Arne Slot 100% and seen all his game from Feyenoord, but I know a bit, it's not too different what he wants, and then he want to add his layers. The most visual was probably he changed it to the 4-2-3-1 system with Szoboszlai slightly higher at times. Not that Klopp haven't done that, and maybe a bit more in the build-up. So small tweaks, small layers to add. One thing stood out, they're good.
That sums it up well, isn't it? And I was going to say, because Ipswich caused them problems in that first half. They were physical, aggressive, brave, man for man, and Liverpool struggled but adapted. Is it a case of they've got that quality, especially in those forward areas, that they can adapt easily to any kind of problems they face?
Yeah, but credit to Ipswich. I think they did very well. But also these games, you see it all the time. It's very, very rare that a top team against a more average team or a team that's a little bit lower than them, that they just dominate them over 90 minutes. Some games they try to find their way, the favorite team. First half, and then you can see the difference in second half sometimes, or in different spells where they just have that more quality.
We saw you excel as a pundit during the summer, so with your pundit's hat on, did you notice any players, managers, teams that stood out in the opening weekend of the Premier League season?
That's a good question. I think Brentford was very good. No. I liked. I think Villa looked good again. I must admit, in many ways. And then I just try to think the other teams. Oh yeah, of course, Fulham, Man United. I think I watched that. I thought Fulham, showed what they're capable of, especially the first half. But then I think actually Man United were more on top second half and had some good bits in them.
Do you think there will be any new tactical trends in the league this season?
Trends, maybe. I think there's many good leagues out there. I think there's many good coaches. But I think this league got so much attention, and I think actually there's many good coaches in the league. So we constantly develop things and try to come up with solutions so we can beat the opponent and just tweak and get the advantage. And when you do that and you're successful for 3 games, then the other teams are looking at you, and then they find another move, and then you need to rethink. So it's just such a competitive and difficult league.
And what have you tweaked since last season? And I guess a key for you is that you've got a lot of injuries last season, didn't you?
I think the key thing, can we avoid the injuries? Just had a normal amount of injuries. I think we'll be more than fine, and you'll see some hopefully good performances from us. We try to add extra layers to be more dominant on the ball. I know we will never have 70% against the big teams, but we want more and more. But to be in control, to create a breakthrough. So we want to be up there and be able to produce the crosses or the small slide balls down the side. That's what we want to do to have more control. And then we try to work with a higher line.
You've had a core group of these players for some time. How do you continually keep it fresh? And what, the other side of that, what does the longevity do for things like team spirit?
I think the team spirit or culture is so good because we have a lot of good characters, a lot of good people. Been here a long time, so they know. Fabio Carvalho just said the other day after our game in his debut, we said thank you to everyone for being so good to him and make him feel welcome and make him feel like he's been part of this for for years, like in 2 weeks. That's a big credit to the group of players that, just absorbing people, getting into the culture, telling you how it is. I think that's important. I try to keep it fresh with sometimes making new drills, just change dynamics, and we also change a few bits in the way we want to play this season just to make it a little bit different. And I need to develop, we constantly need to develop.
You mentioned Carvalho. He's obviously potentially facing his former club so early in his Brentford career. I guess he's been looking forward maybe to going back to Anfield, and how exciting a signing is that for you?
Very exciting. I think it's a fantastic signing we've been able to do. He showed good bits in training. We played a game behind closed doors where he also showed good signs yesterday. So, very, very excited about him.
You have this striker a few people have been talking about at the moment, a guy called Ivan Toney. We're going to get to him in a moment, but let's speak about actually the players that you have in those attacking areas. Do you feel that you've got a nice balance in this team at the moment in the attacking areas when Ivan Toney doesn't play?
I actually do. I think up front, Wiz have been taking that main role when Ivan hasn't played, and I think done well. I think did well against Palace, and I think he scored a real striker goal. Brian and Guillermo have been fantastic for us, and it's growing. Kevin Schad has come back after a big injury last year, and really looked dangerous. Keanu's Potter been a little bit unlucky with injury in the pre-season, but now looks strong. Now we're adding Fabio, Carvalho, Mikkel Damsgaard, and we still have Igor Thiago. He's not out. He's not. Hopefully he's back before we know it. So with that, I think it's that's strong.
And what is the latest on a potential transfer for Ivan? Does it feel like he's closer to maybe moving away than he is staying?
You're still here. You saw him train, so we can't hide that. You gotta get it live on Sky. It's probably breaking on Sky earlier this morning. Ivan Toney is still at Brentford. No, he's training. Good attitude. No problem. As I said, we took the decision last week because there obviously is something going on. But Ivan is doing what he can do. In effect, he's training out here.
He's 28. He's a goal scorer. He's an England international, and you've known him, I guess, professionally and personally for a long time. So, what advice have you given him about a potential next destination if it comes to that?
I think for him, it's always he needs to feel what is right for him, and then we all know if that's going to happen. There's two clubs that need to agree and all that, but he needs to feel what he feels right for him is the club that is coming or the clubs that are coming, and that's what he wants. I think he's spoken quite vocal about want to try something new. I also know he's been speaking quite vocal about how happy he is here at Brentford, so let's see.
Could he play this weekend?
You never know in the world of football.
And generally on transfers, do you think you're done? Are you still hopeful of adding 1-2 more before the deadline?
We are definitely out there looking, as I say, the whole time. Big credit to the club for putting a lot of work into it. Of course, Matthew Benham in the end, the owner who take the final decision, but Phil Giles and Lee Dykes are working tireless to see if there's options for us to improve the squad.
And just a final one, you're obviously busy in getting back to the preparations, but I remember you saying last season it's always good for, a manager's ego to be linked with clubs like Liverpool and Chelsea. Of course, you're playing Liverpool this weekend. That the fact you were in the mix and your name talked about when Jurgen Klopp left, does that just give you a confidence that people appreciate the impact and the consistent impact your team's made over the years?
Yeah, of course it's nice to be recognised, but I think we're being recognised because the team, the club, everyone has done well. I know I'm in front of it, and of course I hope that I play my part, or I know I play my part, but no one can do it alone. I need staff and good players around me. But it's nice to be linked. I said many times I'm very happy here. As long as there is a good challenge, then I'm more than happy to stay at Brentford. Maybe one day I'll need another challenge. We only have one life, and we need to embrace that. But at the moment, I'm very happy here.
Well, Thomas, thank you so much for taking the time out on Sky Sports News today. I really appreciate that. And Thomas, of course, preparing for this challenge, this latest challenge away against Liverpool after that opening weekend victory against Crystal Palace.